I'm Steve Pederson, and I'm here today with my new Epiphone Les Paul Ultra 3 guitar. It's Epiphone's third generation of the Ultra guitar series, and I'd like to talk with you about both the studio and live applications that this guitar is capable of. The reason that I bought the guitar was because I had been asked to play for a musical called Honk, and in the musical the guitar player needs to go back and forth several times, often very quickly, between an acoustic guitar sound and an electric guitar sound. And this guitar just made it a cinch. I mean, it was so easy, it was great. I can't imagine having tried to play that musical without this guitar. As far as the sound, you know, it's got a great acoustic sound. You know, sounds just like an acoustic electric guitar would sound going through an amplifier. I'm currently going through a Marshall AS50R. It just has a wonderful, wonderful tone. You just press the button on the guitar one time, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself that classic, you know, Les Paul sound. You know, it comes with those Pro Buckers that Epiphone has set you up with, so you get that great clean sound. Get a little crunch sound as well. Or get a little overdrive going. You know, it's just got a great versatility to it. All kinds of a wonderful palette of different types of sounds that you can get out of the guitar right at your fingertips. You can also get all of those sounds together and get some pretty cool stuff going on. All of the sounds that you can get out of the guitar are very authentic, very great sounding tones that I think you'd be very happy with. One of the other features of the guitar is the neck. The back of the neck has a satin finish on it, and that was a new feature for me. I'd never played a guitar with a satin neck before, and at first it was a little strange feeling. It kind of felt like the guitar was like a toy or a plastic instrument. It was a little strange, but I got accustomed to it very quickly, and now I love it. I prefer it over just a regular guitar neck. And it really adds to the transparency of the playability of the guitar. What I really love about this guitar is that it looks great. I love the vintage sunburst look. It sounds great. It feels great. And there's nothing about it that distracts me. It just lets me focus on playing and really getting into the music. And all of the different features of the guitar really lend to that. So one of the other features about the guitar that I really like is the onboard tuner. You can see the little blue light here, and when I press the tuner button, it kind of lights up, which is really cool. The only thing that's kind of a drawback about that is that the lights are incredibly bright. I mean, they're like lasers. You can literally like hardly look at them. So that's kind of a drawback on the tuner, but it's great having one on board. That's a really fantastic feature, I think. One significant problem that I have found with the Les Paul Ultra 3 is that every guitar that I've played, and I've played about 5 or 6 different ones, the strings buzz like crazy, especially the 5th and the 6th strings. Me and a couple of different guitar techs have we've tried adjusting a few different guitars, tried adjusting the truss rod and the action, and we have not been successful at eliminating the buzz. And don't let them tell you that, you know, oh, all guitars buzz, because I have several guitars that do not buzz. That's just something that you have to deal with. Now, if you're playing through an amplifier, nobody's going to really pick up on that. If you're jamming live, all people are going to see is just you rocking out. They're not going to hear the buzz of the guitar. So it's something that you might have to live with if you get this guitar, but it is manageable. Now let's talk about using the Les Paul Ultra 3 in the studio. The guitar gives you 2 options to get your audio signal into your computer. If you have a hardware interface, you can use the instrument cable outputs from your guitar. You can either use one or both of them. Alternatively, if you don't have a hardware interface, you can use a USB cable to go directly into your computer. The Epiphone website gives you a link to download Guitar Rig 4 LE as a free download from their website. I would say don't waste your time. Go directly to the Native Instruments website and download the latest version, which is Guitar Rig 5 LE. You'll have much better luck with that, and obviously it's much more up to date. But be warned, it's not a plug-and-play application. If you have a PC, you have to download drivers from the Epiphone website, and you also have to download a PDF from the Epiphone website to show you how to configure your computer to interact with the USB cable. This was something that's very counterintuitive to me, which I thought was very frustrating. It took me a long time to figure that out. Nobody told me I had to figure it out on my own by a lot of trial and error. So save yourself the frustration, get Guitar Rig 5 LE, and read all the documentation before you try to get started using a USB cable. After downloading and getting Guitar Rig 5 LE working on my computer, I did find that it had some pretty cool sounds to it. I'd like to demonstrate those for you, but unfortunately I can't because I can't get it working again, which has been the case all throughout. It's been a really frustrating endeavor trying to get Guitar Rig working on my computer via the USB connection. So I would just recommend you just steer clear of that program altogether. Fortunately, there are other programs out there that you can use. One of the programs that I am using right now is called Amplitude 3, and that's a standalone program that you can also use with just the USB interface. And you can get some fairly decent sounds out of it. You know, some good rock and roll crunch guitar sounds. Now, here's the other thing, is that most of these virtual synth or virtual guitar applications are geared towards electric guitar. So they're going to have electric guitar amps, and so, you know, even though you have the possibility of getting an acoustic guitar sound out of your guitar, there's really nothing you can do with it on the computer because you're going to be going through electric guitar amps that just don't sound good. The other thing is that I have to warn you about is the USB connection works great if it stays all the way plugged in. And what I've noticed, it's not like a guitar cable where it has that little lip that really holds it in there. The USB cable comes out very easily, and if it even comes out just a little bit, you get disconnected from your rig, and then it takes a couple of seconds, and if you're in the middle of playing something or recording something, it just ruins it. So my advice is just stay away from the USB altogether. I mean, it seems like kind of a worthless feature, really, honestly. If that's the only thing that you have, I would say go out and get some kind of a hardware interface that you can use to plug in your instrument cables. The other thing is that some of these programs like Guitar Rig and even Amplitude, if you want to use them as a host, or not as a host, but in a host program such as Pro Tools, then you won't have the USB functionality anyhow because they'll be used as plugins. So be warned about that. Lastly, I'd like to say that if you do decide to purchase the Les Paul Ultra 3 guitar, make sure that you check the Epiphone website because there's a bunch of extra little freebies that you're supposed to get along with the guitar. One of which would be a USB cable, also a truss rod adjustment wrench, which you might need, and then several other little gimmies. You just want to make sure you talk to your dealer and make sure you get those along with the guitar. One thing that does not come with the guitar is a case, and you'll want to make sure that you consider that extra expense because you wouldn't want to have this guitar and not have a case with it. I'm glad I bought the guitar. It's come in really handy, as I said, for this musical that I played and also with the worship band that I play with. It's great to be able to go back and forth between acoustic and electric in a live situation, and I highly recommend it for that. So thanks for stopping by and listening. Until next time, have a great one.